Good morning, afternoon, night, evening, whenever the hell you're listening to us. This is Drunk Discussions, and I'm your host, Paul.
I'm Sean, and we got a special
And
guest.
Good old
Me.
Jake.
I'm back. Can't
Jake?
get rid of me.
Jake from State Farm's back, guys. This is about to be a shit shoot and a half. So let's start it off on Paul. What are you drinking on, bud?
Okay, I'm drinking on good old Coors Light. When the mountains are blue, you gotta send it through.
I'm drinking on a Vosteiner. It is a German beer, an Oktoberfest special edition beer, and I've had a few of them, and they're 5.9%, so they're not half bad.
I just finished myself a little alcoholic-infused milkshake and got some brews downstairs.
There we
Shit
go.
yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of that, I almost pooped myself literally moments before this. You know, I went to do a good old Connery, a laugh and a fart, and boom, Diglett came out in my pants.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that happens. I've had a few of those.
This is sponsor the show.
Yeah,
Help
hey,
us
dude,
stand
like,
out.
yeah. It's going to be itchy when it dries. So yeah, we've got basically
Some
a few things to
interesting
talk about.
topics.
Yeah, nothing too crazy, but how's your guys' week been?
Oh my God, it's been hectic. I feel like, again, burning the candle at both ends, just work and football. But we had our first football game Friday, and we won. So great way to start the season off with 1-0, baby.
Nice. What was it, last weekend? Sunday. I broke my foot and ripped my toe off.
Oh, I saw that. That was
What?
gross, buddy.
I did not know that.
Oh, Jake, yeah. So we were having my daughter's first birthday party, and we had a bunch of people over, a bunch of kids, and one of the 14-year-olds asked my wife, unbeknownst to me, if she could cake me and shove a cupcake in my face. Well, she did. And I thought it'd be funny to chase after her and get her back. So I jumped over the kitchen island, ran around my living room and back behind the kitchen. And I have like a running carpet, like a runner.
Yeah.
And it slipped. And my toe, as I was running to her, I guess hit the oven, and made a loud noise. I didn't know what happened. I didn't even feel it. And I get her, and we're laughing and stuff. And I'm like, why is the floor wet? And I look down, and the floor is drenched with blood, a puddle of blood. Wow. And my toe is sideways. I'm like, oh, I think I just broke my toe, and there's a little bit of blood. So I go to sit down, and my wife looks at me, and she's like, we need to go to the ER. I was like, it's not that bad. Grab some super glue, grab some duct tape. Let's just call it a day and keep this party going. Mind you, I'm sober. I didn't feel a thing, but I looked down, and I can handle.
Sober.
I've handled. No, 100% sober. 100%.
Really?
And, yeah,
wow, that's a first for you.
I know. I was sober all week until today, actually, and well, last night. That's a different story. But anyways, so I look down. I'm like, oh, there's blood. Now, mind you, I've dealt with 38 dead bodies in my life, whether that be a car crash or hurricanes and pulling dead bodies out of the water. No problems. I don't get wheezy. I'm fine. I can handle the smell. For some reason, my own blood, though, I pass out.
You passed out.
I almost passed out. It was bad. I was sweating. I couldn't think straight. And then adrenaline started wearing off, and I started shaking and stuff. I was like, it may be bad. Well, she put gauze on my foot, and she put a little gauze pad on it, and I'm bleeding through it. I'm like, it may be not something super glue can handle. And we go to the ER.
No, that's not true. Super glue can handle everything.
Just duct tape that shit.
Yeah.
So we go to the ER like 3 hours later, and I'm like, hey, my foot's a little jacked up. Just take a look at it, pain pills, whatever I need. And she sits me down, takes the gauze off, and my toe's kind of just hanging there. And she was like, this is not something duct tape could have fixed. And she was like, you're going to need stitches, and we'll do an x-ray. So we did an x-ray. It turns out I have 2 broken bones, a torn tendon, and now I have 8 stitches in my toe.
Oh, you have the worst luck with your feet, bub. First, your toenail, which was, I was there for that. Gross. Second, you had another thing with your other foot.
Did you lose a toenail or something?
Oh, yeah,
well, the toenail. No, when Paul and I met, I had a jacked up toenail on my right foot, where my big toe was like, the toenail was like a half an inch thick. Super thick. Well, I hit it on something, and it cracked in half and was like loose a little bit. So I took a few shots of Fireball, took a pair of pliers,
Like half a bottle, bub.
and then I ripped my toenail out with a pair of pliers.
Oh, God
And
damn.
it was like 2 or 3 days later. I go to the ER.
He Ron Jeremy the fuck out. Or no, what was it? Ron Swanson does. He Ron Swanson does. Yeah, Ron
Give me the
Jeremy.
bacon and the liquor.
It works 60% of the time, all the time.
So I rip it out. My girlfriend, or now my wife at the time, she's like, I can't even watch you do this. This is so gross. So I rip it out with a pair of pliers, and the next day or day or two later, I go and I'm like, hey, can you make sure this shit just never grows back? So now I don't have a toenail on one toe. Now I've got on my other foot a toe that's hopefully going to grow back kind of normal, but it's fucking knackered. My piggy went to the market and got slaughtered, bud.
Oh.
Well, that sounds incredibly painful.
Yeah,
How was your Jake? How was your week, buddy? Because ours were fucked.
No, another one in the books, boys. Same shit, different day.
Well,
Fair enough.
with that-
Landscaping business. Let's roll that intro.
yeah, let's roll it.
1, 2, 3.
I'm a type 2 civilization hipster.
Jesus is watching you. You're gonna all burn in hell. That's why Antarctica's off limits. It's just a bunch of penguins fucking each other, and it causes a chain reaction. People lose their fucking minds.
Trust me, man, I've seen some shit.
Nice to be in orbit.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine.
You should probably go get that checked and shove a finger in your bum. You're laughing, but it's already in there. And we are back. Everyone, thank you so much for joining Drunk Discussions podcast. Last week's episode did not get posted due to the injury. I blanked out. I was high on pain pills for the first 2 days, and I'll be honest, they gave me my medical card. So I am now a medical marijuana user in the state of Florida.
Did they really over just that? No shit.
Yeah. They're like, "This is
America,
gonna
hell
hurt."
yes.
They're like, this is going to hurt. Do you have an addictive personality? I said, yes. They're like, okay, we're going to give you only 2 days of pain pills. And then after that,
some pot.
smoke some weed however long you want, at least a year. I was like, bet. So I got to get injured about 360 days from now.
Nice.
Huh.
Or you got back pain, bro.
Yeah, glaucoma.
Yeah,
You got back pain.
carrying this big dick. I got fucking lower back pain.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
It's kinda
so I guess we'll talk into the first question and / topic. It has been a big one over the week. Plenty of people have fucking seen it or heard it. So you guys have all heard of the Washington Commanders, correct?
I'm familiar with the Washington football team.
The
talking about the
Washington
Redskins?
Commanders. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
a couple years ago, they got rid of the name Redskins because it was not PC. It was racist, is what they said. Well, now a group is coming out that is a Native American backed group, and they have around 150,000 signatures of Native Americans across the United States that want to change the Redskins or the Washington Commanders back to the Redskins. And this all falls on the Commanders potentially losing their name due to their filing for the name itself. Someone already had the name saved. So now they're going under a lawsuit for having the name Washington Commanders. So they might lose that name anyway. And then this comes out saying like, hey, we want Redskins back. And I think that's it. It's definitely a hot topic because for a while now, people were saying it was wrong. Native Americans didn't want it. But now you're having these groups come out saying like, no, we never said that. Like we liked the name. It gave us, a sense of pride and heritage, acknowledging the natives in this country. So like I was bringing that up and seeing what you guys think, because obviously we have a lot of teams that have changed their names over the years, including my favorite team, the Guardians, or the Cleveland Indians changed their name just a couple years ago to
Do you
fit
know
that
why
same.
they were called the Cleveland Indians?
Yeah, actually I do. This is one of my favorite stories. One of the first MLB Native American player ever actually designed Chief Wahoo, which everyone said was racist. He was the one that drew it. And then they called them the Cleveland Indians because he played on that team and it stuck.
Yeah, they were the first team in the MLB to have a Native American
Native player. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they got the name. Before that, they were the Cleveland Spiders, which I should have just brought that back if they really wanted to change it that way.
I mean, okay. hear me out though. Have you've seen Major League, right?
I have many times.
So in the first thing of Major League, the first 30 seconds of the movie is it pans to the bridge with
Yeah.
the Guardians on it and then rolls out to Jacobs Field. And
Yeah.
once I watched that movie again, I was like, this is where they kind of got it from, not gonna
Mhm.
lie. And I kind of fell for it a little bit. Logo's a little
Very mid.
but we could have had a worse name. I voted. There was voting going on, but they never took any of the votes or names like they did with the Browns in their logo to it. Because like the Cleveland Tribe was an option. I was like, that's still awesome. It still kind of keeps the heritage of having the first Native American baseball player there in Cleveland. So I mean, I just want to see, what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, a lot of things started changing after 2016, right? A lot. Essentially, you had I'm going to call it as it is, a whitewashing across
Yeah.
the board of people that just doing cancel culture on everything. The fucking Buttersworth, the fucking Land
Yeah.
O'Lakes, Butter,
Jemima,
Aunt
Land
Jemima.
O'Lakes, which like those
All of
families were
this
very
shit.
upset when the logos were changed.
This was all
And
around the same time,
what they're
especially with
saying.
baseball, football, everything like that. I mean,
They're
it's kind of
saying that
it's
it's a
one of those
whitewash.
things like
It is.
living in Florida now, like back in the day, I was like, why would anyone really give a fuck? You know, I'm thinking like, is there really that many people upset that there's an Indian on a thing of butter? No. Is there people upset that there's a black historical figure on a thing of syrup? No, there isn't. There's like maybe 5 people on Twitter starting to rage feed, and everything changes because of that. And I think even right now, there's still that happening. And in what, 7 years from now, 5 to 7 years from now, people are going to be like, well, the fuck we do that? What's the big deal about it? Same concept. If we're going to be bringing back the Redskins, bringing back the name or the logo or anything like that, you've got the same concept happening.
So
Like Dylan Mulvaney, you know, and Bud Light.
So here's one of the things, one of the quotes. So the man that played for the Cleveland Spiders that became the first Native American baseball player, he was a chief actually. Chief Louis Francis Sock-Alex. I messed that all up, but either way, Chief
name.
Louis Francis. Yeah. Either way, first player he played for the Cleveland Spiders, and one of the natives of this group actually like talked about him specifically. And you are having so much fun with your mustache right now.
I am.
He's really trying to get that curl going.
You're throwing off my groove, damn it.
I'm just over here flapping my lips.
But he specifically said that they were tired of them being held as an excuse for whitewashing. He said, first, we're losing teams and heritage that are representing not just the sacrifice of us for this country, but then you're having many other minorities being absolutely removed due to the whitewashing of that community, finding it quote unquote racist. So not just that, he also goes on to quote about like Land O'Lakes, the Native American on Land O'Lakes getting removed. On top of that, he talked about Aunt Jemima and some other ones that he's like, this is, you know, you don't see the guy from on Quaker Oats getting removed or anything else. Good point. But still, like, I just want to say, like, do you think bringing it back and them calling Redskins is wrong? And the guy specifically said, no, we called ourselves Redskins. He's like, that's how we did. Yeah, he's like, that's how we deciphered ourselves and showed ourselves. We're not the white man. We're not the black man. We're not the Asian man. We're the Redskins.
I don't think it's something that's necessarily interfering with the fact a game is still happening. It's not interfering with players. It's not interfering with qualifications. It's a name, it's symbolization of past.
Right. And the logo that they had was an actual side frame of an Iroquois chief. So they're using an actual native's image, a chief, for their logo. I mean, I understand people thought that Chief Woohoo was a little bit, cartoonish, outdone, or racist, like depiction.
I mean, that was also a historical logo where that was kind of just the style of the art back in the day. I mean,
exactly.
No matter which group of people or what you're trying to depict back then, it was always a little cartoony. That was just the
exactly.
style.
But it was also the fact that the first Native American to play baseball
drew
it, and there was history behind that. Now I get the Indians, right? Like people are like, oh, the name, how is that right? It's like, okay, where they were natives, they were never Indians. Like we were coming here to conquer and explore India, or a faster way to India. We got here, we thought it was India, we called them Indians.
I just don't feel
Get
like
that,
it should
but
be
we could have changed it, like the
something.
Cleveland Tribe or Cleveland
would have been
something
fine.
would have
I
been
just don't
great.
think it needed change just because, I mean, that's just like the heritage of the team, and that's
Right.
what it's been called. And I don't think it was necessary. You know what I mean? I don't know how many
Right.
people really got that upset about it. I mean, you still have Florida State Seminoles,
Right.
Atlanta Braves. There's countless examples of this still existing, so I don't know why it was such a big deal, personally.
Right. And
It's
the
not
thing
like
with Cleveland
it's not like a
is
derogatory term. You know what I mean?
it's not. That's what I was trying to getting at. Is like,
Yeah.
do you think this is going to happen? Like, do you think they'll even listen to the signatures and the petition going on, or do you think they'll just come up with another name because they can't have the Commanders? Or do you think they'll fight to keep the Commanders as the name then, since they've spent so much money into it?
Let me come at it as a marketing guy, right? So you have brand recognition and brand development. That's crucial. And typically when it comes to brand development, you're spending on a corporation millions of dollars, right? For brand recognition and all of that. Realistically, a smart business decision would be something that is upsetting to the industry, a lot like what Elon Musk has done with Twitter, except in a positive fashion. He's a perfect example of why you don't do something. When
Is it
you
though?
have
Because like,
no,
there's
he
no
is.
such thing as negative publicity. Because even X, as they call it now, is still now starting to rise again from where it was on user basis.
We'll get to that later. So you've got Redskins, which has been the original name before it became Washington Champions, or what was
Commanders.
It was Washington football team, and then they called themselves the Washington Commanders.
That's right.
Correct.
So
I think they just should have stuck with Washington football team.
I think they should have stuck with Redskins, or at least gone back to it, because it's been a name that's been recognized for 50 years plus.
Yeah.
Right.
Such a long franchise history.
The brand development for that's already done. It's already there. It's already recognizable. You've got everyone and their fucking mothers and grandfathers that recognize that name, that image. I think going back to something like that would be the most beneficial move for the organization.
So here's another thing. Connor, you don't know a lot of football at all.
I don't know anything about it. No.
Where do you think the Washington Commanders are out of?
The state of Washington?
Wrong. Washington, D.C.
Oh,
so
that's stupid.
I know. So another thing is like, why not like the D.C. or something? You know, D.C. Commanders or the D.C. Redskins
or the bureaucrats.
Yeah, the D.C. Senators, something like that. When I've had so many people that do not know football, they're like, "Oh, the Washington Commanders, cool." When they're in the state of Washington, it's like, no, they're out of actually D.C. Yeah, so it can throw some people for a loop there. But the biggest thing is, since it is in the nation's capital, that they wanted this Native American. I need to pull up what they are actually, their name for it. But regardless, they're like, we want to have a larger recognition to our heritage, especially into our nation's capital. And I kind of get it. I do. I kind of get it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why they make such a big deal about it. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm like, there's so many things that are made such a big deal out of that I'm just, it's not. It isn't. It's not relevant. It's not offending anyone. It's been like this for years. Leave and let lay. Like, there's a few things that I'm understanding with when it comes to like removing of history. Like, like Confederate soldier statues. I think they should be removed from where they're located, put into a museum and said, hey, look, this is a part of history that the U.S. has been involved with, but it's not something that we recognize today as being how things are done. Right. Like Lee County, Florida, for example, we have a statue of Robert E. Lee, who was a Confederate general.
Right.
I'm like,
he was also the only Confederate general not to own slaves too. He was also the highest graduatee from West Point, and was personally handpicked by Abraham Lincoln to lead the Union Army. And he specifically told him, no, because I am from Virginia, I will only fight for Virginia. Well, so the history of Robert E. Lee is a little different when you look at the grand scheme of Confederate generals.
It definitely is, but that's a
since we're on that
horrible example of it.
Let's run that topic a little bit. What do you think about in Georgia? They have the Stonewall Jackson Wall, like it's like a copy off of Mount Mount Rushmore. Thank you, Mount Rushmore. They engraved into this massive wall of Stonewall Jackson.
And
how would you would you want to just destroy that? Like how would you cover that up then?
you don't.
How
have
would
to
you
cover
remove
it.
that? You don't.
Is it a wall?
It's literally a mountain, bub.
It's
Oh, it's a
chiseled
mountain?
into a hill. Yeah,
It's
like a
chiseled
stone
into the
face.
side of a hill. It's massive.
Just leave it there.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say everything's situational.
There's difference between something that's engraved in the earth and something that's been added to the earth. You know?
Right.
Like Mount Rushmore, you're not getting rid of. Yeah, you ain't gonna do shit to it. It's there, and to be honest, Mount Rushmore in itself is a very horrible engravement because it destroyed a native.
The Black Hills, man.
The Black Hills, exactly. So I don't know.
But now we're great engraving also into the Black Hills. A chief's head also.
That's cool.
And horse. Right, him riding with a horse, like head into the horse. I don't know what it'll be done. They've been doing it for what seems like a decade now. Like Jesus
How long
Christ.
did it take them to carve in Mount Rushmore?
Which part?
The 4 of them.
Oh man.
The span
I think
of
that was
what?
like a 30
years?
Yeah, it's like 40-year project.
Okay.
Wasn't that was a Great Depression project, wasn't it? When they did that?
It was before the Great Depression.
When was that? When was that?
Yeah, it was like 1890 to 1920, right?
That's that, I'm pretty sure. Let's see this. Ready?
I don't know.
How long did it take to make Mount Rushmore?
1925. Is when it was established.
Your location, the Mount
Oh, so it was final.
Yeah.
I was close. It was what, a 40-year project?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. I was pretty fucking close. Suck a dick. Let's have a shot or a sip or a chug. Cheers, cunts. Or prost.
Cheers.
Oh, it's NAGA, by the way, the association, the Native American
Governing Association?
Yeah. So like either way, this NAGA group is the one that's backing it. And I've heard that name before because it was also, and it's funny we talked about Mount Rushmore, as they were talking on Mount Rushmore and giving back that piece of land to the natives. But there was a whole different ordeal with that. So I mean, it's funny because the Black Hills were looked at as sacred by, oh God, who was it? It was the Blackfoot, I'm pretty sure, Native American tribe. And there was a whole thing with the U.S. government because during that time frame when we first took it, they were saying, well, this area wasn't even yours to begin with. You killed off the Chippewa, you killed off the Iroquois, you killed off the Sacs, you killed off so many other Native American tribes, and then you're saying like, oh, this is now your land graced to you by the great Mother Earth, by the great being. So there's been so much controversy, but the thing is I feel like we keep fucking over our natives. We really do. We screw them over time and time again, and they now have a chance to have recognition. And we show them, like, we use them for sports teams and other stuff. Like, yeah, people are like, oh, that's demeaning, degrading. No, it's not. Like, they're looked at too as like brave warriors, fighters that fought off not just the French, not just the English, but also the Americans for so long to keep their land.
The guy you were talking about, the fucking general or whatever that was for it, the Lewis guy, I was like, he was definitely French.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to the French and Indian War, man. They backed the French side, not the British side.
There was definitely an intermingle back in the day between those two. Speaking of Black and Indian, have you guys heard of Oliver Anthony?
Ah, God, I love that man, and I love his story. His story is so freaking awesome.
So, have you heard of Jake? Since you kind of out of the loop, have you heard Richmond, north of Richmond?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I like that song a lot.
Good song. Everybody's been talking about it. It is uniting this country more so than I ever thought it would.
So you have the media that's completely separating the black, center, and black, right, left, and center. I don't know why I said that. Well, I'm canceled.
We're canceled.
Anyways, speaking of canceled, I Show Speed. Did you guys see that?
I Show Meat.
I Show Speed.
Wait,
I Show Speed is one of the most popular streamers on Twitch and YouTube, and he was celebrating a win and he stood up and was like dancing and shit. But I guess he was wearing a pair of boxers and his cock slipped through the seam and just was flapping. And on live in front of like 30,000 people.
And he has like a young audience too. Like that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. So he showed his dick to a bunch of minors, and he's still active, but he is very depressed right now. He'll probably kill himself. I hope he doesn't, but it's a pretty fucked up situation.
He's
but
young
anyways,
too. Is he 18? I show speed.
He's a little younger. Yeah. I don't think he's 18 because he's been a popular streamer for 2 years now. And I think you have to be 18 to stream. Anyways, so Oliver Anthony, this redheaded
Southern boy.
This redhead
Virginian.
ginger soulless bastard with the most soul I've ever seen in my life sung a song that's uniting both the right and the left because of the lyrics he wrote. He's a hardworking man struggling. His opening lyrics are very, very popular because of how they start. He essentially says, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away, right? Immediately, whether you're a hardworking white collar, blue collar person, you're going to relate to that because you're like, yeah, no, I'm fucking working my time off. And even though I'm making this money, I feel like I'm not getting ahead in life, right?
So he's talking about how the dollar's not worth a damn. And then they tax it to no end. Like, it's awesome. It's a great song.
The pre-chorus to it is, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true. Oh, but it is. Right? So essentially he's coming in saying, look, I'm a blue collar man. I've been working hard. And I recognize, and the reason why he recognizes is because his job now, as he's writing this song, is to travel across the country and talk to all these blue collar people. And it's just part of his job. And he realizes that everyone's impacted by this, just like him, just like you, right? And then his chorus is, living in the new world with an old soul. These rich men north of Richmond, what's north of Richmond?
DC.
Washington, D.C. Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Doesn't matter. And he came out with another song, which I can talk about later. Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think, want to know what you do. And they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Because your dollar ain't shit, but it's taxed to no end. Because Richmond, north of Richmond. And
so good.
Yeah. It is a phenomenal song. And a lot of people on the right, and from what I've seen, are taking it as, oh yeah, you got all these obese people that are trying to get these fudge packs on the obesity or whatever. But everyone's kind of realizing.
I've not seen that at all with any of the people
that I
follow. Not a single one. I think it's everyone's united to the same thing. It's that we're getting taxed to shit, and no matter if they're right or left, Democrat or Republican, they don't give a fuck about you.
No, I mean, everybody just feels like they're getting taken advantage of right now.
Which we are.
We are,
so
100%.
Something that I do love and that I have just found out about this man, right? Oliver Anthony.
He turned down.
He has gotten down $8 million more now. It's rising of record deals, and he has turned them down because he says, "I am making music for the everyday man. I only do this because I love to make music and I want everyone to hear it." He's not wanting to get on a tour bus and travel the country and just sing music. So I mean, it's awesome. It's definitely a cool story that has definitely it opened your soul, and you're like, this guy is as America gets.
So there are multiple GoFundMe's out there. I would recommend searching through them. But
for him?
Yeah. So there are a few GoFundMe's as far as Oliver Anthony are concerned. I would definitely make sure you're donating to one that somebody isn't just keeping the cash to.
Yeah, vet that shit.
Vet it. But this guy is turning down $8 million record labels because he doesn't want to be controlled by what he has to produce. So dude, imagine, Paul, you would suck dick for less than $8 million.
Probably.
I would. So, and Jake can confirm.
Yeah.
Can't confirm.
Yeah. Damn,
So-
bro, need money. $20 is $20, bro.
I get it, man. A hardworking man.
Well, now as he says, $1 ain't worth shit, so $20 ain't $20.
No.
Take
$8 million
$17% off that shit.
Hey, record labors, throw me $8 million. I'll sign up.
Record labors, are we slurring our speech already?
Yeah, these beers are great. I've had 5 of them. So anyways, so a few other lines of his lyrics are, I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just for minors on an island somewhere. That screams Jeffrey. Lord, we got folks in the streets ain't got nothing to eat and obese milking welfare. I'm fucking
Obesity
trash.
milking welfare. It's like people that are,
Yeah.
able to live on welfare and keep getting a crap ton of food stamps and just living like trash.
And when I said the right side of it, this is what I'm talking about in the sense of lyrics. He says, well, God, if you're 5'3" and 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags full of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is keep kicking them down. And that's talking about the soldiers going out there to serve for this country, and the country ain't doing shit for them. They say, kick fucking rocks, go die from PTSD.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's so true. And I think I kind of it goes towards like ageism a little bit too. You have a lot of people that are in these higher corporations or working that are, been there for a long time. And these young guys that are, and women that are hungry and knowledgeable and they have a good skill set, just keep getting pushed down the ladder. Some of these young guys, including and considered our age, which we are considered young still, aren't able to get to where their parents were at their age or their grandparents were at their age because of the bureaucracy of this bullshit of this country.
yeah, I mean, generational wealth does a damn shame. Anyways, so let's have a shot and talk about something a little bit lighter. So Maui.
Yeah, that's
So much
lighter.
For everyone
Oh
out
wait,
there,
are we going Slurspiracy with this one a little bit or no?
So I'm going to say yes and no. I've had a lot of people reach out and say, "Are you going to talk about Maui and the lasers?" And I say a lot. I've had 3 people reach out to me.
I've had a couple myself.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So a few people reached out and they said, "Are you going to talk about the lasers?" Okay, for starters, those lasers are actually not lasers. They're time-lapse images of SpaceX launching a rocket. And then I had other people reaching out saying, well, what about Oprah's house, Obama's house? Those are on a different island. Okay. Yes. So we'll set
Bezos is not. Bezos is on
something
Maui.
else.
Bezos hired private firefighters to stand around his area so it wouldn't burn.
Just protect his house.
Yes.
Which, if you have the money to do, good for you. I don't think there's any conspiracy around it. I do think the electrical companies that are involved in Hawaii need to be held accountable, just like Norfolk Southern needs to be held accountable. And by the way, you haven't heard shit about Norfolk Southern since that happened in Ohio. The same thing's going to happen.
Or the multiple derailments after Ohio.
At this point, it's like in the dozens.
Yeah, or is it
dozens.
It's like 36 derailments since then, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
here's my thing. The only reason I find it somewhat conspiracy figured. What?
I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know you could do that either.
I said I'll be right back.
Okay. The only reason I find it somewhat conspiracy oriented is because all the land that was pretty much decimated, right, was prime real estate in the eyes of insurance and the government. That was all owned by locals.
Yeah. Local
people that they've been trying they've been trying to buy out this land and these beaches,
corporations and all the millionaires coming out and buying up all that land. That was I mean, and it's decimated. I mean, that
and then on top of that, there is so many images, right, of where foliage, trees, bushes are not affected in these areas, but then it's right next to a car that's completely melted or a house that's burnt down.
It's the same pictures that I remember seeing when the California fires were happening, where the houses, the cars, toast, but you got green grass next to it, which that vinyl siding or like the composites in the car burn so hot, you're gonna get some burnt grass around the area, even if the fire doesn't jump, because it's possible for it not to jump.
Right.
Unlikely, but possible. But there should still be other signs, and now it just looks like property that was destroyed.
To Connery with the laser beam thing. The thing is there. I don't think it was a laser. I saw a lot of fakes. There was a lot of stuff where it's like, this is bullshit. But China does have laser technology, and they did test it about 3 months ago and 6 months ago off the coast of Hawaii in the waters, where they shot down 6 lasers from an aircraft into the ocean. So there are many, not just America, countries that do have laser weapons and technologies. That is, we have them. We've talked about them before. That is a truth. But I don't think that we would have done that. I would hope not. Now, does that hold out to the realms of possibility because America's shitty and our government's shitty? Yeah, who knows? But the videos that most people have been seeing and spreading on like TikTok and on Facebook and stuff, one was from Ukraine, and it was a gas fire, and like the gas station exploded, and then they time lapsed and made an actual laser beam image into it. And the only one I ever saw, I saw one that was actually from Hawaii. And I've not heard anything if it was put through a filter to check if there was any altering or anything done like that at all. But the one of the 6 lights in the ocean off of Hawaii, that was proven and confirmed to be Chinese laser tech.
So
not SpaceX.
Talking about the corporations
that
are coming in wanting to buy out this land, and not only that, the CEO of Hawaiian Electric Company wanting to sell off this land to investors. It happens during every disaster. Is it fucked up? Yes, but what I'm happy, and I say this not to get canceled, I am happy that it's coming to news like it is with these corporations fucking over Maui, is it happens during every natural disaster. You look at Hurricane Ian, corporations came in like fucking crazy. I had mailers out the ass wanting to buy my house after Hurricane Ian because of, they're like, this is the equity you have. Let's go ahead and just sell your house. We'll deal with the damage later, is what they said. They're massive. This happens in every natural disaster across any vacation area, right?
Right.
So
any spot.
The fact this is happening is nice, but there's a few things I'd like to point out, and it relates to Oliver Anthony also, is give it 2 weeks, it won't fucking matter.
We'll forget. We're desensitized.
Oh, yeah.
So we move on to the next topic.
Disassociation is what it is. And I think when it comes to Oliver Anthony's song, I think it's awesome. I think what's happening in Maui is horrible, but I think what's coming out of it is awesome. But at the same time, it ain't going to fucking matter. America's kind of at this point where we realize, we're in the 99% of the rest of the world, or rest of the United States, and nothing fucking matters. So I'd like to put this out here. If you'd like to rebel, let's go ahead and do it. Let's do it. Let's get on the FBI watch list. Let's do it.
How so? This isn't some January 6th bullshit, right?
No. I'm talking let's casually no longer support Bezos, right? Fuck your Amazon orders.
Fuck Amazon orders.
Fuck your massive corporation orders. I'm talking Starbucks. I'm talking Marshalls. I'm talking all of those places that have big pop-up shops everywhere. Spirit Halloween. Look, I know Halloween's coming up. As a millennial, I get it. You want to buy your fucking 20-foot skeleton? Don't. Buy it from a local pop-in shop. Spend 10% extra. Support a local business.
Or make it yourself. Get a bunch of plaster and balloons and go to town with the family and make your own decorations.
Or
like, you remember, how many of you guys remember cleaning up your lawns with leaves, all the leaves out of your yards, and putting them inside of trash bags and like painting them and making them look like ghosts? Tell me that wasn't only me. A lot of people did that shit. And you'd hang them from the freaking trees. You have little fake ghosts hanging from the trees that are out of leaves from your yard.
Or don't do this. This is for educational purposes only. What I'm about to say off the record. Eat the rich and then use their bones as Halloween decorations.
There you go.
Eat the rich and use their bones. What are you, just some Jeffrey Dahmer shit here, Jeffrey Schneebel?
At the point that I'm at, I'm fucking sick and tired of it, because like you see all this shit, and I have 10 viral videos on TikTok right now. Right. I had one of them show up on MSNBC, right? An article written about one of my TikToks, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but it's it's gonna last for 10 days. Right. After that, nobody's going to remember it.
It's because of media, though. Like, we're all capitalizing on media. We hate on it, but we're capitalizing on it. We're on Twitch right now. We're on podcasts. We're on Apple Music. We're on Spotify. You're on TikTok. We're on TikTok. We all use it. We bash it. But at the end of the day, when we're at home and we want to relax, you're in your bed. What do you pick on? You pick on Facebook. You go on Instagram. You go on TikTok. We all still use it.
Hamster.
X hamster? What the? I was like, what is that? Oh, Twitter. Yeah. So what do we call it? Are we just calling it X? Like no more tweets?
Paul, X Hamster is a porn site.
Is it? I don't know this. I don't jerk off like you do.
X Hamster is more amateur type stuff. Pornhub is verified now.
Hold on. And it's spelled like just X and hamster. I'm writing this down.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I have to research for science, and then
I'm really done with XNXX. All right.
Oh yes, XNXX. Yeah, that's all right.
That's an old site.
Yeah. X Hamster's an old site, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Are we gonna just start getting into porn now?
Hey Jake, what's your favorite category?
My favorite category?
Yeah.
Everyone's got one.
I usually go to like the amateur section. I don't know why. That's usually where I hang out. And
I don't like.
Oh, she's a baddie, but a newie.
Yeah, I don't like the high value
fresh.
content.
What about you, Connor? What's your go-to? We know who you like. We know who you like. We've talked about it.
Adriana, check. And essentially, the categories are squirting.
He is a squirt fan. He is. Mine is.
I know Paul's in the BBW section.
Yeah, small and blonde. I don't know. Like it's just it's my fucking niche, bro.
Let's go ahead and count off all the X's he has. Oh yeah, small blonde is on his every list.
Yeah. Like Pierre Piper looking little bitch up in this shit, just spin around. Yeah, that's how it is.
Who was
Isn't that the bitch is like 70 pounds?
She weighs nothing, just blonde hair. Yeah. What's the other one? The other blonde chick that's like Elsa Jean. Yeah.
Well, she's on the other one.
Yeah.
You're listing off more porn stars than I'm familiar with.
You don't know these people? Oh, bro.
No, I don't watch those categories. I go for.
I think the only one that I've watched that's not a small blonde is Eva Lovin. That one. That's a good one. She doesn't do it anymore. I actually follow her on TikTok. She's been on a lot of podcasts and stuff. But bro, and she was good back in the day. I tell you what.
So, what's her name from the?
Jake's over here googling this shit. He's like, hold on a second.
Who's Jelly Roll's wife?
Oh, Bunny, baby.
Yeah, Bunny. So Connor puts into his chat. He's like, Bunny liked my comment, and I was like, who's that? She's following me. You
got Bunny following you?
I didn't even realize
that. She got that thing on her.
I was like, she's following me. So I was like, I'll follow her back. And I was like, oh, we're friends now. I was like, oh, okay. That caught me off guard.
Yeah, she is. That's what I don't understand. You know, you have a beautiful woman, intelligent, and who's a great person for Jelly Roll. And you look at Jelly Roll.
And then he got
Jelly Roll together before he was even famous and shit. And you're like, how the fuck do I do that?
Sense of humor.
Hey, I'm a funny motherfucker. I think we all are. The only two, actually, you two are both set. You're both engaged or married. I'm over here going like, the lotion looks good tonight. Yes.
So
it's tough being a single dude in 2023.
It's not bad. Yeah, the dating pool is toxic as fuck, though.
I was gonna say, I feel like you're almost out of options.
Yeah,
let's talk about the dating pool.
All right, so like, hold on, I'm gonna bring this shit up. I'm gonna bring it up. So I have the dating apps. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna say which ones, but I have the apps. All right, and I've gone on many dates
Farmers
with
Only
them.
for sure.
Yeah.
When
you're lonely, get on Farmers Only, baby. No, but I've had many dates on these apps, and every single one, there's no in between, right? There's no woman that's just like, can we take it slow and get to know each other? That's how I am. I want to take it slow. Let's see if we're even right for each other. It's either they're 100% in and a clinger, or they're like, I'm just here for your dick and I want to leave. Which sometimes I get it. I'm like, all right, girl, I'm down for this.
Fine.
But it's like, can we like, I can't find someone where it's just like, I just want to know about you.
Have you tried not doing an app?
Oh yeah, I've gone to bars and met people. You know, all kinds of shit. I've had. You know,
have you ever considered like leaving Columbus where the women are just toxic?
Oh, so many times. But what, you want me to move to Florida where Connery's at and they're just as bad?
Yeah, but then you're on a
if
beach,
not worse.
The depression doesn't hit quite as hard on a beach.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, but then like Ohio, a problem with the Florida though is like it could be an Ohio 7 goes to Florida and she's on the beach and then she becomes a 10. Like, no, I'm good.
I was gonna say, yeah, like down here, I could be your wingman, dude.
No, you can't. Lauren would be so pissed. Where are you going?
So
I'm
many
going
gay
to
men.
Hell Bitches with fucking
No.
Paul. Like, no.
I think you're underestimating my wife. She'll totally let me be your
I was
wingman.
gonna say we got to go out with Abby. She'll find you somebody.
Yeah.
No, Abby's got probably some cute friends. Hey, Abby, you watching this? Hook a brother up, all right? I'm trying to get me a wife, man. I'm trying to be married. I'm trying to start a family and shit.
With children.
As long as she's ready for another one, I gotta fucking make the name last and bring the genes on, bro. It's up to me, my brother only with this last name. Because I'm pretty sure my older cousin with that last name, I'm pretty sure he's gay. I don't know. He just hid in the closet for a while, I'm guessing. I have no idea. But it's up to me and David to keep this Rhea name going.
No better get the fucking word.
I think David will keep it going.
Okay, let's say it's him and Maddie, right? How mentally stable will that child be?
Anyways, on other topics.
Exactly.
Look, I love David and Maddie's all right, but like at the same time, you're right.
Right. I gotta find.
Right.
See, and the problem is I see if I could find a tall woman who's like athletic and fit, we'd have like some D1 children. Like, let's go. We'd have some great. No, listen. We'd have some great kids. But my taste in women is like below 5 foot and blonde. So they're gonna come out, be named like Kevin, and play the oboe. I'm good, dude. I need to find me a fucking like a stout of an athlete.
So my wife,
that oboe career, you never know.
Yeah, they could kill it with that oboe career, but Daddy wants a fucking boat. Let's get to the NFL.
You're the best oboe player.
Let's have a drink to that. Jesus. So all right. So you're looking for my wife.
I already been there, done that, got that T-shirt. You know, I'm not your wife, but like a small blonde.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you clarified. Like, hold up. I knew we were Eskimo brothers, but not to that scale.
Transmission to Paul's house.
Jesus Christ.
I can hear him now. Lord, what the fuck? No, not like that. You know what I mean. Like I know what you mean. I've dated women that are smaller than Lauren, so
that's small.
A midget, pretty much. Yeah,
they get free college.
Pretty much. Yeah, I think it's 4'10". No, I think it's 4'10" now. Is it 4'8"? It might be 4'8". So I talked to this one girl that was like 4'10", and that's small.
My cousin is 4'9", and she was pissed because she couldn't get like scholarships because of being a midget. She was an inch too tall.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was gonna say your family's they're all not. No one's really tall in your family. I've met your parents and stuff.
On my dad's side, there were some big motherfuckers.
Hey, I just learned something, Paul.
What?
So in Cincinnati, there's a town called Midget Town. And
I'm not into midgets and dwarf, just short women.
No. Along a road that runs next to a tributary for the Great Miami River, only midgets live there. They will shoot rock salt and throw rocks at you if you come down there and you're over 4 feet tall.
Wait, that place sounds awesome. This is where Willy Wonka.
This is not real life. This is not real life.
No,
they're the ones actually making the skyline chili. They're up on top going boom, doom, buddy, do.
So it's called Midget Town in Cincinnati. I've been there.
How would you like to go, poo?
Essentially, it's an old fairground or something similar. It's a dilapidated, rundown miniature town. It looks like it was built for kids as a play town or something. It's along an old road that follows a tributary that runs into the Great Miami River. The midgets are most likely little figments of people's imagination. They supposedly throw rocks at cars and big people that come to their town.
It's not real. This is just like some fucking fictional story, and they're like, down the river is where all the little goblins go.
I'm just saying, you need to go to Cincinnati. Actually, the 10 smallest towns in Ohio and where to find them. Radnor is number 1. You and I live there.
No, it's the smallest in Ohio is Radnor.
Yeah, population of 201. Technically, it's not the smallest because I grew up in the smallest town in Ohio of 132 people.
But it's probably grown since then. That's what I'm saying.
Chesterville.
So Chesterville's probably got over 200 people now, though.
I don't know. Dorset, where I grew up, I think only had like 350 in the township when I was living there. Smaller now.
Hey, Jason Aldean, that's a small town.
Yeah, people do get robbed there, Jason, and they don't do shit about it.
So the population in the 2020 census is 191 people.
For what, Chesterville?
Yep.
So how is it not labeled as number 1 then?
So small they couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, that's not
Essentially.
actually, that's a village, actually. You're a village. You're not
Essentially.
considered a
You're
town.
not a township. Fuck you.
I was gonna say North Robinson is a
We're
Crawford
gonna get
County.
you in fighting shape, and I'm gonna get Abby on it.
All right, let's go, bro. Let's go.
Yeah,
Get
have
me-
you
get
ever
me-
thought maybe you're just not good looking?
Oh, you're crazy, bro. I've had too many people say I'm good looking. You've said it to
No.
my face.
Also-
You were like, man, if I was gay, I was
Also,
like, I
bitch,
know.
I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful.
I'm sure. I mean, the reason why you've gotten so many followers off of my followers is because they'd fuck you.
Yeah, no, literally. Actually, a lot, like probably 40, 50 people have followed me because they're like, oh, let's see. I want to see him join, Sean's live so we can see his fucking bare body too.
I get about 5 messages a day asking me if I'm single or
Yeah.
gay.
And you clarify it daily on your live, which I find hilarious.
I have to.
It's like you have to, but I mean, it's like you'd think people would learn, but and you've said it in multiple videos about your wife and everything. So like, come on, people, just read and watch. It's like new ones getting like, oh, look at this guy, he's cute. Let me follow him, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, are you single? Oh no, he's married. He's sus or cis.
Married.
Sorry, cis.
Cisgendered white man.
Yeah, you
You're
get
the worst
nothing
of
in
the worst,
life.
bro. You're
You
the
need a
worst.
white privilege card sent to
You're
your
what's wrong
doorstep.
with this country.
I
Actually.
do get that a lot. I get the message that says, "Do you recognize your white privilege?" And I just respond, "Of course I do."
Can you please buy the white privilege
Followed with
card?
the slur.
They're actually made by a black. Both the company's owned by two black men, and they make these cards called for white privilege. It's hilarious.
It's a
Can
good
you
thing
get
I'm a
one?
graphic designer that can make my own card.
Never heard
Right.
of white privilege thing. I just think the Beavis and Butthead shit. And white privilege.
There.
White privilege. We can do whatever we want.
I remember that episode. Yeah.
Lines and stuff.
Oh, that's a fucked up series now that you look back at it. Speaking of
What, Beavis and
fucked up-
Butthead? You
Yeah.
think that's fucked up? Do you guys not remember Ren and Stimpy? Ren raped Stimpy.
That was God.
I do, yeah.
I remember watching that as a fucking kid.
Yeah, I'm saying. My dad was like, "This will be great for the kids. It's a
Oh, yeah,
cartoon."
my dad, I
Whoa.
swear, my dad used to like go out to the barn, smoke a joint, come back in, and be like, "All right, kids, we're watching Ren and Stimpy." Because he'd be laughing
Yeah.
his ass off. Me and my
Or
brother, like,
Squidbillies. Squidbillies was
Squidbillies.
another one
Did
my
you ever-
dad would watch.
have you
Like,
ever
don't
seen
touch the
Pickles?
tram.
Pickles the dog.
Oh
I
my
don't know the
god,
name of it. It's the fucking
Yeah.
Satan dog.
Satan dog.
Satan
There were some
dog.
fucked up ones back then, and there's some fucked up ones now, which is why I love it. Like as an adult, people are like, "What? You watch cartoons still?" It's like it's
Some of them are
adult
good.
version, okay? Like you can't just have a kid out here watching, like fucking Invincible. Like I'm sorry, like
When does
No.
season 2 for that come out? It's supposed to be
Soon.
soon, right?
soon. I'm so
September?
excited.
End of September, I think, or
Wait,
November.
Paul, do you watch Baki?
I
You're
do.
an anime- Are you ready for season 2, part 2?
Yeah, buddy. Here we go.
Yeah, use your own Baki.
Have you
gotta
did
throw
you
the
did, have you
fuck
been watching
down.
the new Bleach yet or no?
Not a big Bleach guy.
Oh,
Not a big
Have you
Bleach
guys
guy.
watched One Punch?
absolutely. One Punch
I've
Man's
not.
awesome. Oh,
I've
10 out of
not.
10. You gotta watch it, Jake. You gotta add
I'm on
that to your
episode
list.
3. Yeah,
Oh,
episode 3 is where I'm at.
So good. The memes
like-
from it are hilarious.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
I've seen a lot of clips of One Punch Man on Instagram and TikTok.
No, yeah. Definitely add that to your list, especially since there's only one season out right now. So
Oh,
you
really?
have plenty of
I could
time to
probably do
catch
some
up
shit.
before season 2.
Yeah, I could probably get through it in like a day and a half if I felt like it.
Mm, I don't know how many episodes there are, but I don't know about a day and a half. I think it was about a week for me, and I finished it.
That's what I'm doing. I'm not doing shit tomorrow, so I'm just gonna sit there and watch One Punch Man.
There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna play DayZ.
You and DayZ, buddy. You gotta get on Apex like the rest of us.
Apex is good, but DayZ, I'm limited time frame, and I'm really enjoying hanging out with Logan.
I know, but I'm sad I miss you both, and I don't want to play DayZ
Why?
because I don't like DayZ.
It's fucking
Why?
DayZ.
Yeah, because it's fucking DayZ.
Why?
Because it's not fun.
Why?
Walking
Because it's not
simulator.
fun. Yeah, walking simulator.
We have a
Figure it out.
helicopter now.
We have we got a helicopter now.
Yeah, and a side by side. It's a good time. I enjoy playing it. It took a lot of time to get to where we're
It'll
at.
only
but-
take them 30 minutes to cross the map. In their
See, you
helicopter.
know why it's funny to me is because I love both of these men, guys, and our listeners. You don't understand.
Yeah, Paul loves men.
Sean and Logan both get so involved in a game. You know how many games I have in my inventory that I have bought or downloaded because they say I needed it, and we played it for like a fucking week until
Wow.
something else came out. It's annoying. Like I still have fucking New World downloaded. We played that for like 2 weeks. Gone. Stop
What's
playing it.
broken?
Small
Well,
Land.
It's
Played it for like a week. Loved it. I loved that game. We stopped playing it. Like there's so many games where we've played it. Spellbreak. There's another one. We played it. Stopped
Break
playing
was
it.
fun.
So many. and I just at this point assume it's a phase, and you'll be right back to the old one.
I mean, that's pretty
mean,
much how
yeah.
gaming goes nowadays.
Yeah.
Let me check my Steam library.
It's also just saturated. I don't even want to look.
Have you
dude.
guys ever played Gang Beasts? That's a funny ass game.
So
No,
like a
I've played-
When you have
bestiality
like
game?
derpy
That's
kind
another
of
one.
like co-op characters, and it's like the objective is literally just to like throw people off the map. Like we kind of like Smash Brothers brawl everybody together, but the
Like
movement's
Brawlhalla?
funny. Kind of, but like not like moves and shit. It's more like trying to struggle against making your character move properly. It's alright.
Oh, that sounds exciting. Yeah, struggle.
It's
at
$1.
controls.
Ready or Not's fire. Highly recommend that game. I don't know.
All
I
right.
don't be
Well,
gaming a lot these days.
With that being said, guys, ladies, gentlemen, theys, thems, thesers, we appreciate everything that you guys do by loving our podcast and sharing the love and coming along and buying our merchandise and telling people about it. So please keep doing what you're doing. We do it for you guys.
yes, thank you so much for listening to Drunk Sessions Podcast. Be sure to find us wherever podcasts can be found. We're live every single Saturday at 6 p.m. Unless sometimes shit happens and real life takes advantage of us. But we'll go live and then release the episode every single Monday wherever podcasts can be found. Thank you so much for listening to Drunk Discussions Podcast. Peace.
Peace.